1, go.
Oh my whole Toledo.
You're talking so loud, you're blowing it out, cuz. Get a microphone. You don't know how to act. What'd you get? Show the people what you got.
I'm embarrassed now.
No, show them. Show them. Top tier. She's gonna be going live on Twitch, guys. She's got her blue snowball. Beautiful. Yeah, keep it in shot too, so like we know. Anyway, we're on chapter 21 tonight, banging them out. Genesis 21. Talk about banging them out. Here we go. All right.
Oh, yeah, because last chapter,
Yeah.
All right. Chapter before that, yeah.
So what we talked about last week? Do you remember? We talked about Genesis 20, cuz.
We did, yeah. It's right there.
We did. So, yeah. Abraham and Abimelech, as you may, had their little kerfuffle because Abraham was being a little sassy boy.
He pulled an Abraham Genesis chapter, 10 again, so... And that was, 10 chapters ago. We're over that, but he did it again.
Yeah, he's real into Sarah being his sister or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then sharing her with other dudes. Yeah, that's how it goes. So, the Lord stepped in from Abraham being a little weirdo. Saved the day. Yeah, Abraham was just being a scumbag and setting this guy up for sin. But the Lord had to come in with his grace and then still follow through with the covenant for Abraham. So, Abraham's being a little frustrating, I can imagine. But, yeah, we get to the end of chapter 21, and Abraham prayed to God. God healed Abimelech, his wife, and the female servants. They all bore children. For the Lord had closed up all the wombs of the house of Abimelech because of Sarah's, Abraham's wife. So, now everyone's fertile again. The Lord opened up their wombs. Foreshadowing to Jesus, I think.
Yeah.
So now we're at Genesis 21. Would you like to get going?
I would love to.
I'm eager to see how these wombs got opened up.
There's no time like now, so I'm going to get going. Chapter 21. And the Lord visited Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did for Sarah as he had spoken. For Sarah conceived and bore Abraham a son in his old age, at the set time of which God had spoken to him, and Abraham called God of his son, called the name of his son, who was born to him, whom Sarah bore to him, Isaac. Then Abraham circumcised his son Isaac when he was 8 days old, as God had commanded him. Now Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him, and Sarah said, God has made me laugh, and all who hear will laugh with me. She also said, who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? For I have borne him a son in his old age. Do you want me to, read a section and then, we go over it since it's, pretty long?
Yeah, we can go through each section. So, the section is titled Isaac is Born, and I think that's it. Summary done. Yeah. Yeah, it said, the Lord visited Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did for Sarah as he had spoken. So, allowed her to conceive. Doesn't mean the Lord concepted in Sarah. It means, the Lord made it plausible.
No, Abraham did that. Knocked her up. Sorry.
For Sarah conceived and bore Abraham a son in his old age, at the set time of which God had spoken to him. So I think that's important. Reminding you that it doesn't happen in our time. It happens in God's time when he is ready for things to happen. And Abraham called the name of his son who was born to him, whom Sarah bore to him, Isaac. Then Abraham circumcised his son Isaac when he was 8 days old, as God commanded him. So Abraham's fulfilling his commandments from God, named the boy Isaac, and I'm going to, snip the tip on 8 days. Now Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him, And Sarah said, God has made me laugh, and all who hear will laugh with me. So, Sarah's now flipping the script. Oh, I wasn't laughing at God being silly. I was laughing at the joy he was going to give me. And now we can all laugh joyously together because I have a boy. So, she also said, who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? For I have borne him a son in his old age. Look how amazing this is. God did what he said. Woo woo. Surprise.
She just needed to see it.
You know, the fire and brimstone falling on the city across the plain was like, yeah, you could do that, but me and Abraham having a kid? Get out of here. Coincidence.
Okay. Next section. Hagar and Ishmael depart. So the children grew and was weaned, and Abraham made a great feast on the same day that Isaac was weaned. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, whom she had borne to Abraham, scoffing. Therefore she said to Abraham, Cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, namely with Isaac. And the matter was very displeasing in Abraham's sight because of his son. But God said to Abraham, Do not let it be displeasing in your sight because of the lad or because of your bondwoman. Whatever Sarah has said to you, listen to her voice, for in Isaac your seed shall be called. Yet I will also make a nation of the son of the bondwoman, because he is your seed. So Abraham rose early in the morning and took bread and a skin of water, and putting it on her shoulder, he gave it and the boy to Hagar, and he sent her away. Then she departed and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba, and the water in the skin was used up, and she placed the boy under one of the shrubs. Then she went and sat down across from him at a distance of about a bow shot, and she said to herself, Let me not see the death of the boy. So she sat opposite him and lifted her voice and wept. And God heard the voice of the lad. Then the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven, and he said to her, What ails you, Hagar? Fear not, for God has heard the voice of the lad where he is. Arise, lift up the lad, and hold him with your hand, for I will make him a great nation. Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water, and she went and filled the skin with water, and gave the lad a drink. So God was with the lad, and he grew and dwelt in the wilderness, and became an archer. He dwelt in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took a wife for him from the land of Egypt.
Nice. God's just doing good.
Mm-hmm.
Good God. Passed a bunch of judgment, and he's got to remind us that he's still a loving God. So the children grew and was weaned. What does weaned mean?
Probably weaned off, like, being breastfed.
We'll find out.
Because, yeah, he made a great feast on the same day. Let's see.
Because, like, you could be weaned off anything. Who's to say these kids weren't cokeheads off the rip? It's like, I'm just weaning them off. Let's cook them a good meal. They just got clean.
Yeah, it's to be weaned off breast milk.
So that must be pretty good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Abraham made a great feast on the same day that Isaac was weaned. And Sarah, so I just got off breast milk, just barely teething. Great feast time! Someone go get the calf. Butcher that sucker. Make sure you get some unleavened bread. My boy's got teeths.
He can chomp.
Yeah, that's what Sarah was saying. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, whom she had borne to Abraham, scoffing. Frickin' Egyptian thinks she's all hot stuff with her dark hair and her beautifully brown skin. Thinks she's got anything on me. Huh.
She had told Abraham to do that.
Yeah, but he still did it, so he's still a conniving man. Anyway, She said to Abraham, "Cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not bear heir with my son, namely with Isaac." So, did they have extra kids in this time period? Why'd you have to clarify Isaac?
I don't know.
But, and the matter was very displeasing to Abraham's sight because of his son. Because obviously they're both his kid. So, like, why would he doesn't want to cast them out?
Yeah.
But God said to Abraham, "Don't let it be displeasing in your sight because of the lad or because of your bondwoman. Whatever Sarah said to you, listen to her voice. For in Isaac your seed shall be called. Yet I will also make a nation of the son of a bondwoman because he is your seed." So this section is nice. Not really. So Sarah kicked him out because she's jealous. Every time she sees, every time she sees,
like a war would have frickin' started if she didn't go.
Hagar and Ishmael were just hanging around. Two beautiful little Egyptian and half little Egyptian kid, just being all cute and stuff. Got under Sarah's skin, so she got him kicked out. Abraham didn't like that. If it was up to Abraham, he'd keep everyone there because he is a nice, providing father. I will provide for you and my halflings. Me and my concubines. Goals. But God said to Abraham, "Don't let it be displeasing in your sight because of the lad, because of your bondwoman. Whatever Sarah said to you, listen to her voice, for in Isaac your seed shall be called. Yet I will also make a nation of the son of the bondwoman, because she is your seed." God's telling Abraham, calm down, buddy. Listen to Sarah. She's your wife, remember. You guys are one flesh. Just, you're kind of stuck with her. So she's got some dominion here. Okay, relax. And I'm going to take care of them. I know it's out of your control, but you got to put your faith in me now, okay? I'm God. Like, it'll be all right. Just don't start a kerfuffle in the household. You don't need to. So Abraham listened and rose early in the morning, took bread and a skin of water, and putting it on her shoulder, he gave it to the boy and Hagar and sent her away. So that must have been a sad morning. It got a whole run-on sentence in the Bible. Abraham got up early, gave him some bread, a skin of water, and saw them out. Showed them the boot. You think he kissed her on the way out? I would have.
Are you so bad?
Yeah, you would have been up in the window, like looking down, right? It's like Abraham's out there in the courtyard, kissing her off, slap her on the butt as she walks out the door. Hate to see you leave, but love to see you go. Ha ha. And Sarah's just up there, just like pouting. And Abraham's like, yeah, this world revolves around me. I'm the chosen one. My lineage. Can't do no wrong. But anyway, I'm getting under your skin.
Oh. Boy's lucky he's 600 miles away.
Yeah.
Come on. Foot in his... I wish we had a beeper.
Haram. So she departed and wandered into the wilderness of Beersheba. And the water in the skin was used up. And she placed the boy under one of the shrubs. So the skin, like they just made bags out of skin back in the day. That's all that is.
Oh.
Because it's watertight.
I thought maybe it was a canteen.
Yeah, I mean, basically, right? It'd be like a leather canteen, but like probably not nice leather, like skinny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Nasty.
I want a fuzzy canteen.
Broth when it comes out of it.
So they're walking through the wilderness, probably desert-ish. They're probably worried about heat. She placed the boy in one of the shrubs when they ran out of water. Then she went out and sat down across from him at a distance about of a bow shot. I guess to get out of earshot so the boy doesn't hear her, like, her worries. "Let me not see the death of the boy." She sat opposite him and lifted her voice and wept. And God heard the voice of the lad. Wait, hang on. And God heard the voice of the lad. Then the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven and said to her, "What ails you, Hagar? Fear not, for God has heard the voice of the lad where he is. Arise, lift up the lad, and hold him with your hand, for I will make him a great nation." So it says, and God heard the voice of the lad. So I'm assuming Ishmael was praying to God here. The prior sentence is talking about Hagar crying and talking, and then this one jumps right into, and God heard the voice of the lad, and then the next sentence after that, God's talking to Hagar. So I think Ishmael is praying to God. Ishmael is showing faith here, and then again, God's reiterating his promise. I guess he didn't. Yeah, he's reiterating his promise. He told Hagar before, when this had first happened, that he's going to make him into a prince. And here she's saying, yeah, rise, lift him up, whole Lion King moment, and I will make a great nation out of him. Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. She went and filled the skin with water and gave the lad a drink. So God was with the lad, and he grew up and dwelt in the wilderness and became an archer. He dwelt in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took a wife for him from the land of Egypt. How dope is that? He's just in the woods, archering, slanging things, Tarzaning. And then, like, your mom goes, gets you a nice Egyptian broad, brings her back. It's like, here, this is suitable for my boy.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Dating back in the day must have been dope.
Yeah.
I didn't have to memorize corny pickup lines and blast them on Hinge, seeing if anybody would bite. I'm just, like, casting things out. Meanwhile, he gets to focus on his archery.
You good at archery?
I would be if I didn't have to worry about learning pickup lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. My Riz. I got more Riz than Ishmael, I tell you what. I don't need my mama to pick me up a chick.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was good. God fulfilled his promises, etc. Would you like to continue with the next section?
Yep, last section. And it came to pass at that time that Abimelech and Phicol, the commander of his army, spoke to Abraham, saying, God is with you in all that you do. Now, therefore, swear to me by God that you will not deal falsely with me, with my offspring, or with my posterity, but that according to the kindness that I have done to you, you will do to me, and to the land in which you have dwelt. Abraham said, I will swear. Then Abraham rebuked Abimelech because of the well of water which Abimelech's servants had seized, and Abimelech said, I do not know who has done this thing. You did not tell me, nor had I heard of it until today. So Abraham took sheep and oxen and gave them to Abimelech, and the two of them made a covenant. Abraham set 7 ewe lambs of the flock by themselves. Then Abimelech asked Abraham, what is the meaning of these 7 ewe lambs, which you have set by themselves? And he said, you will take these 7 ewe lambs from my hand, that they may be my witness. I have dug this well. Therefore he called the place Beersheba, because of the two of them swore an oath there. Thus they made a covenant with at Beersheba. So Abimelech rose with Phicol, the commander of his army, and they returned to the land of the Philistines. Then Abraham planted a tamarisk tree in Beersheba, and there called on the name of the Lord, the everlasting God, and Abraham stayed in the land of the Philistines many days.
Amen.
Amen.
So covenant with Abimelech. It's kind of dense.
Yeah.
Came to pass that Abimelech and Phicol, the commander of his army, spoke to Abraham, saying, God is with you in all that you do. Now therefore, swear to me by God that you will not deal falsely with me, with my offspring, or with my posterity, but that according to the kindness that I have done to you, you will do to me and to the land in which you have dwelt. So, Abimelech is, remember before, I was like, yeah, he's definitely hedging his bet, making sure like things go his way by compounding grace onto Abraham, right? This is like This is something people do in business a lot. They'll be like, you scratch my back, I scratch yours, but then like double down on it. Like you'll scratch their back, and then like a couple days go by, then you'll scratch their back again, and then you'll scratch their back a third time, and then when they come around, then you'll really like suck it dry from them. So you give a ton of value, and then at some point in the future it gets returned onto you. So that's what Abimelech's trying to do. So Abraham says, I will swear. Then Abraham rebuked Abimelech because of a well water which Abimelech's servant had seized. So Abraham said he'll swear, but then I guess he didn't, because he rebukes Abimelech. And Abimelech said, I do not know who has done this thing. You did not tell me, nor had I heard of it until today. So Abraham took sheep and oxen and gave them to Abimelech, and the two of them made a covenant. And Abraham set 7 ewe lambs of the flock by themselves. I think it's ewe. It's like ewe. So I think Abraham's just being a little like full of himself or something. I think this.
He's probably trying to make a point.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like he's being cocky or something. He said, "I will swear," but I think that's like he's being sarcastic. It's like, "Oh, I'll swear," and then he rebukes him because Abimelech's servant like apparently took water, which I don't think it's clear that actually happened. And it said, and Abimelech said, "I do not know who did this, nor did I know about it until right now." So Abraham took sheep and oxen and gave them to Abimelech, and the two of them made a covenant. Abraham set 7 ewe lambs of the flock by themselves. And Abimelech asked Abraham, what is the meaning of the 7 ewe lambs that you have set by themselves? And he said, you will take these 7 ewe lambs from my hand, that they may be my witness that I have dug this well. Therefore he called that place Beersheba, because the two of them swore an oath there. What does Beersheba mean? Place of oath, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Thought I had it here.
Thus they made a covenant at Beersheba. So Abimelech rose with Phicol, the commander of his army, and they returned to the land of the Philistines. And Abraham planted a tamarisk tree in Beersheba, and they called on the name of the Lord, the everlasting God. And Abraham stayed in the land of the Philistines many days. So, very interesting.
Is an evergreen tree.
Beersheba means evergreen tree?
No, a tamarisk tree is an evergreen tree.
Oh, you didn't find out what Beersheba means?
No. See?
Beersheba. So, I mean, this is kind of confusing. I don't know. It says they made a covenant, but I'm not sure what the covenant. Well of 7?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so what exactly is happening? Do you get this? So Abraham. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, then yeah. So he took 7 of the ewe lamb. I don't know what ewe means, but lambs.
This is a type of lamb, I guess.
Yeah, and then Beersheba means well of 7. 7 wells is improbable.
Yeah, he said, you're going to take these 7 lambs from my hand, that they may be my witness that I've dug this well. So he's giving him 7 lambs, like saying, like, I dug a well here. But how does somebody steal a well? Oh, he stole the well water.
Seized the water.
It seized the well water. So Abraham's saying that was my well, my water. I'm giving you 7 lambs to, like, prove to you, like, I'm convicted, like, that's my water. But, like, what exactly was the covenant? What are they both agreeing to?
Well of the oath.
So Abimelech rose with Phicol, the commander of his army, and they returned to the land of the Philistines. Then Abraham planted a tamarisk tree in Beersheba. They are called in the name of the Lord. Abraham. So I think Abraham did swear, to the Lord that he's not going to deal falsely with him. And Abraham was like, all right, I'll swear, but I'm having this issue where my well water got taken and we need to resolve this now. So when they resolved it, then Abraham followed through and made that covenant.
And then, like, the tree is significant because it's an evergreen tree representing God's eternal faithfulness. And then trees and pillars serve the patriarchs as memory aids, memorials to God's act.
Yeah, in the Old Testament, we'll see it in Exodus a lot, but there's a big significance to like memorializing places to God. Like, this is like where the thing happened, I guess. Yes, the tamarisk tree, and like even in that sentence, it says, "Called in the name of the Lord, the everlasting God." So yeah, I guess they made that covenant. They won't deal falsely with me, my offspring, or with my posterity, but according to the kindness that I have done to you, you will do to me and to the land in which you have dwelt. So, I think this is an easy promise for Abraham to fulfill. So, like, don't deal falsely with Abimelech, his kids, or his people. That's what posterity means, right? It's people.
Yeah.
But that according to the kindness that I've done to you, you'll do to me, in which the land you have dwelt. So, Abraham's people and the Philistines, which are now, I guess, Abimelech's people, are going to get along so long as Abimelech and his family is around. And it says, and Abraham stayed in the land of the Philistines many days. Fair note here. Abraham's lineage is still living in the Philistine land. And they're still fighting about it, about whose land it really is. Because Philistine is where the word Palestine comes from. And Abraham is where Israel came from. So that's why I'm a little confused. Like, oh, Abraham agreed that, him and his people aren't going to screw over the Philistines and them people?
Well, I mean, he did do that. I think that's represented by how he stayed there for many days.
Yeah, and Abraham stayed in the land of the Philistines many days. So, yeah, I think it's pretty clear that Israel isn't the one causing problems. They don't want to fight. They're like, yo, it's
well, let's not bring politics into this.
Why?
Leave the politics out.
This is what it is. This is like world history. This is literally world history. Like, Abimelech is the... I want to get another window going so I can, like, research stuff. I'm guessing... I don't remember Abimelech being... What was he... What was in the past chapter? Who was he the king of? It was started with a G, wasn't it?
Oh, Gerar?
Yeah, Gerar. Yeah, okay. It says Abimelech was the Philistine king of Gerar. So, I guess Gerar might be like a sub-nation or like a tribe or something. When you first search Abimelech, king of Philistines, it says, according to the biblical narrative, Abimelech was an extremely conniving and evil person. He persuaded his mother's brother. Okay, this is gonna glance over that. It seems like it's spoiling, but it seems like he was a very bad dude. And this might be foreshadowing that. Didn't I say like what he's doing here, or what he did in the last chapter was like really businessman-like, like really trying to con goodwill out of people. So.
Oh yeah, it looks like something's gonna happen ahead.
Yeah, because like Abimelech, God came to Abimelech and was like, "Yo, Abraham's my boy. You got his wife. Like, don't mess with him. And then that scared Abimelech. So like now he's gonna try to exploit Abraham and his connection with God. Because like if Abimelech really had the fear of God, he wouldn't be forcing Abraham to swear on God's name.
Mm-hmm.
Abimelech would just pray to God and then do what he can do. Right? There's no faith there. So the next chapter should be interesting, I think.
I think so too.
But bringing it back to politics, the originator of Palestine was a very evil man. Conniving, it says. Now I'm sure there's some beautiful Palestinian people. What?
What?
Yeah, I'm sure there's some good Palestinian people, but like, yo, it's not your land. It's promised to Abraham by God. What are you fighting about? What are you arguing about?
I'm sure someone has probably said that exact sentence. And it probably didn't end well for them.
No, they probably got shot with an RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gerar was a Philistine town and district, what is today South Central Israel. So yeah, mentioned in the book of Genesis and also in Chronicles, 2nd Chronicles. Cool. Yeah, is there a map? Can I pop up a map for people? Oh, that's a racial slur.
I have a feeling that's going to be before our little jingle. And it's a good little cutscene.
Yeah. I think that's the funniest thing. Take something out of context and then put it on the, put it right before our cute little jingle. Usually something, highly sexualized or racist. Something jarring to grab attention, right? Because our retention rate is terrible. Because we're boring people.
It's on a whim, so then we go and research, and then we're just like,
yeah, we're just sitting in silence. All right, so I think that was a good little recap of 21. What did you learn from this, Elizabeth?
I'm actually reading something about it right now. If you can give me just one more minute.
You go first. You're looking at somebody else's opinion on it and then seeing how you should coordinate your mind instead of leaning on the Holy Spirit and what God intends you to believe. How dare you? How dare you? Okay, so what I learned from this is to not be mad at my wife when she tells me to get my concubines out of the house. Be a humble man like Abraham. And realize where the cooking is good and
damn straight.
Whoa, haram. But no, I have a feeling Abraham swearing on the name of God probably isn't great either. We'll probably learn more about that as time goes on.
Yeah. I think what I took from this...
I'm not done.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think the grace of God is just overwhelming in this chapter. From God consoling Abraham when he has to kick out half his family, to God consoling Hagar and making Ishmael a king and then getting him a wife. We went through all of Ishmael's life in this section, basically. Little boy to now he's an archer and married. A covenant with Abimelech. God didn't make a presence in this one, but everything's still peaceful. Praise the Lord.
Yeah. That's what I was going to touch on is, all the promises that we've been kind of reading about up until now, and kind of reading about how they came to be. Sarah had her son, and then Ishmael came, and then fortunately they were sent away, but they survived, and everything that God had said he would do for them happened. And so I think it was That's what I enjoyed about this chapter.
Fantastic. Now, would you like to end this with a short story, or not a short story, a short song, rather, about the ewe lambs?
A song?
Yeah, like bust out in some song.
On the whim?
Yeah.
You draw me a beat?
No. You gotta do it. You gotta, like, make your own beat. I'm gonna. Yeah, I got some lamb on the screen.
Oh.
Yeah. The resemblance is uncanny.
7 ewe lambs. I'm giving them to you.
The significance
Lambs.
of my well water. Yeah.
7 of them. Lambs.
Yeah, lots of lambs. This one's birthing.
All day. What are you looking at?
Just some lambs. Anyway. Back again. Saying goodbye is the hardest part.
I know. Just kidding. Later, nerds.
I'll hang up when you hang up.
When you
hang up.
You're supposed to. Do it.
All right, bye.